Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Coach Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Wednesday, April 8th. We're actually coming at you really late tonight. It's almost 10:30. But you know what? Routines are off. Things are off. Schedules are off. Sometimes you just got to find that time. The little bit of time you have available, no matter where it is, you got to find that time and get things done when you can get them done. I don't normally do late night podcasts, so this could be a little different. Who knows? Frame of minds are different, throughout the course of the day. I don't know if any of you guys experience that too, but I'm a different person in the morning than I am at night. So who knows? We'll see how this thing works out. There is a reason why I really wanted to get this thing out today, but we'll get there in a little bit. You might have noticed that we changed the podcast around a little bit. My mother-in-law's here. She's been here about 3 weeks. Been helping us out a lot with the baby, helping us out with a lot of things, and trying to stay productive with our time. And her and Stephanie were down here the other day, and they just cleaned house. This basement, the studio is amazing. It looks wonderful. She changed things around. She hung pictures up, cleaned up. The floor down here probably hasn't been vacuumed in about 6 months. It looks really nice. And I got to tell you, podcasting is one of the things I love to do. I love this. I love what we got going on. This whole Team Ordinary thing that we got going on, the Facebook group, all that stuff. I haven't been able to spend a lot of time with you guys in the last month or so because of all that's going on. But, cleaning up the studio and making it a place where I really want to spend time, it's just very inviting. It's very nice. And, instead of being upstairs going, oh, I don't want to go downstairs. It's such a disaster down there. Now it's like, oh, I want to go downstairs. It's great. If I feel productive in the space. Now, when it's clean and orderly, I feel productive in the space. Just a little hint from me to you guys. If you're sitting there and you're, in your home office, especially nowadays, and it's a disaster area, take a day, take a few hours, just give it a once over, just not even a once over, give it a thorough cleaning, and just make it a space as much as you can. Make it a space that's inviting, that you want to spend time in. Just a little tip from me to you. Now, the last 30 days, life has just changed. Life is so different. And when I think about how we started this year, and we did our New Year's resolution special, and really my January was great. I had a new routine in place, getting up early in the morning, doing runs or doing rides in the morning, working out a couple times a day, just getting everything done, eating well. I lost about 10, 12 pounds, something like that. Actually, I know exactly. I went from 246 to 233, so I lost 13 pounds. I'm probably up a little bit from there. But I was on point. And now I think about it now and how all of this going on has really changed my routine. And I don't know, look, it may not affect you guys as much as it is affecting me. It may affect you more than it's affecting me. I don't know. It's a very individualistic kind of thing. I think to myself sometimes about how, I was a single guy in New York in the early 2000s. I had a job that would have been considered essential these days. So life might not have changed for me a lot, other than I would have gotten to work with very little traffic, very little annoyance. I would have probably just walked back and forth. I lived 20 blocks from my office. And, like I said, it would have been considered essential. I'd be there every day. So I'd be working every day. I'd get home. I'd have nothing to do because you can't go out. You can't do anything. I didn't used to cook, so it'd be takeout every day for me. I'd probably be on about my 20th season of Madden because I probably would have just sat in front of the game screen all night long, having nothing else to do. And, it might not have been that much different aside from not going out, aside from, being forced to go to takeout every night and not really being able to socially interact with anybody. Life wouldn't have been that much different than what I was doing actually anyway. It might be a little bit lonelier because you don't see people, but I think I could have handled it. I don't think it would have really been a major disruption to life. Now, things are way different. In January, Ellie was in daycare. She's our 16-month-old. She was in daycare. We had some of the days she had a nanny. The other days I had time to kind of separate and do my own thing and work on the podcast and work on things related to that. Daycares are closed. Our nanny's not here right now. I do have my mother-in-law here, but she's really not here to watch Ellie as much as she is to help watch Ellie, if that makes sense. So I don't have the time I used to have during the day. In addition to that, Sam, my 10-year-old, she's home from school. We have to homeschool her. Now, half the time she's with her mother. So in other words, half the time she's not here and I don't have to be over her shoulder. But when she's here, it's different. Now, I'll give you a little story on why that's true. Because what you'd like to do is the school hands you like a thing. They hand you a list. Every day we get a list from the school. Every teacher says this is what she needs to do. Blah, 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 blah. There's a big giant list. It's actually 2 pages. Usually takes her a couple hours to finish the entire list. Now, she went to her mother's about a week ago, and she has a book that she's reading, an English class chapter book. Typically, the teacher will assign a chapter a day. If they're short chapters, she might assign 2. I don't know. So she had left to go to her mother's. She was on chapter 7. She had read through chapter 7. She calls me the day before she's supposed to come home, and she says, do you have my book? I'm like, what? What do you mean, do I have your book? You have it. You have to have it. Otherwise, you haven't been reading the last few days. Well, I lost it. I can't find it. It's not at mom's. It's not here. What is going on? So like this morning, she came over. Finally came back. And I'm like, all right, we sit down. I'm like, we're going to have to order this book on Amazon to get it here for you so you could read it because it's your assignment. You have to do it. And Steph decides to go in her book bag. She goes into Sam's book bag, and what do you know? Bing, we found the book. So we go over to her list for the day. It says read chapter 13 in the book. Now, I know she's only read through chapter 7. So I leave her alone with her things to do, and I go away, and I come back a little while later, and I'm like, all right, let's go through the checklist. Because you got to go through every item. If you don't go through every item, she's just going to know, oh, Dad can check that one. Dad can check. Oh, he can't check that one, so I'm just going to check it off, and I'm not going to do it. And reading is a prime one for that, right? Reading is a prime one for her to not do it, but check it off. So I go up there and I'm like, all right, let's go through your list. It says read chapter 13 or read for 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, good. So you checked it. So did you read for 20 minutes? No, I read chapter 13. I read chapter 13. Well, that's strange because didn't you not read chapters 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? So how did you read chapter 13 without reading those middle? This is the things that they will do, folks, if you don't sit over their shoulder and watch them. They will totally just try to skate by and be totally lazy. And I am not having it. And look, as a parent, you guys have to gauge yourselves. You know, are you going to be on top of things like this or are you not? It's very easy to kind of just not follow through on things like that, right? But I feel like I need to be there. I need to be on top of her. And if I'm not, she's not going to do the work. It's that simple. There's too many other factors, though. So when she's working in the morning, I got to take the phone from her. I got to take the iPad from her because those are distractions. Those are distractions. And if I leave her in there with those things, she will use them. It's almost like uncontrollable. It's almost like you can't stop. It's almost like crack. It's like crack for a crackhead. If you put the crack on the table and you walk away, you're going to come back and there ain't going to be no crack. It's the same thing for my daughter with her phone. You got to take it away. Just got to take it away. And that's what we do. And so today, you know, you just got to be on it. It's changed life. It's changed our routines. It's changed our life. It's made for less podcasting. I got to be honest, my training has been on point. I have not missed, I've taken a few rest days, but rarely do I take I have 5 days a week minimum, usually more than that. Usually I'm an hour a day, anywhere up to 3 hours a day. I'm getting workouts done and I feel good about it. My fitness levels have gone up. My FTP on my bike has gone up. I would like to see my weight going down. That's something that I'm going to have to focus on. I got to find a way though. I got to change my routine, right? We talk about this all the time. And the problem is sometimes life throws you things. They throw you challenges and it's going to challenge your ability to be efficient. And this is a major challenge. And some of you guys are out there and you guys are rolling with the punches and that's wonderful. You guys are just taking it and you're rolling with the punches. For me, it's been a little bit different. It's been a little harder, a little challenging, let's say. And look, I know a lot of you guys, I don't want to belittle the issues and make them, or not even belittle. I would say the opposite. I don't want to make my issues that are small in comparison to a lot of things that you guys are facing. Some of you guys are sick. Some of you guys are, I mean, geez, I've read about you guys that have been sick. Some of you have family who are sick. And in the context of that, my issues are very, very small. Very, very tiny. They are inconsequential. What are my issues? My issues are I haven't been able to kind of strike a new routine. Why not? I would say a little bit overload, a little bit of just lack of time, and not being able to put the pieces together. But it's a little bit stress related. It's a little bit anxiety. I have anxiety over this. I'll tell you why. It's not true. Look, I don't have like clinical anxiety and look, I've actually experienced this before. So I don't belittle anyone with real anxiety problems, because what I have is not that. I have been there where I can't focus on things because I have something on my mind that's so drastic, and so I get that. I get when you can't handle things. That's not this. I am losing sleep at night. And look, so I kind of want to connect on this level because look, I just want to be, I want to be honest with you. And B, you may not be experiencing anything like this. You may be experiencing something similar, or you may be experiencing the exact same thing. So if we connect here in some way and it helps in some way, let's talk about it. I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping that much at all. And I go to bed and I'm not tired. It's like I'm tired, and then I go to bed and I'm not tired. And I don't get it. And I can roll around in that bed for hours. And I know I'm not going to sleep. It's like 11 o'clock at night. And I know I'm in bed, the lights are out, and I know I'm not going to sleep. And it's like all of a sudden I just know. The next thing I know, it's 12. The next thing I know, it's 1. I might grab the phone. I might check things on the phone. What am I checking? I'm checking the news. I'm checking Twitter, and not even for running stuff. It's like, it's crazy. I check for news. And I think the way my brain is wired is that I'm so impatient with this. I just want it to be over and done with. And I know that there's going to be another shoe to drop. The next shoe to drop is either going to be a major thing that says, hey, we're going to, like, things are going to get better and businesses are going to open up. We're open for business. Things are, everything's under control and we're good to go. Let's move on. Back to, and granted, we have our own challenges to overcome once those steps start. I don't think it's just going to be like, yay, everything's normal again. But I'd like to see some real motion in that direction, And if it's not that shoe to drop, what it's going to be is going to be worse, right? It's going to be, this is taking a turn for the worse. It's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to be even worse than it is. This is supposed to be the really bad week. It's going to get even worse. I don't know. I don't know how worse it can be. Any number of things could happen to make this thing even worse than it is. But the thing is that this has been going on for a month now, and I'm done with it. I am so sick of it, and I'm so impatient. I just want it to change, and I'm looking for that change, and I can't sleep because I just can't wait for things to change. And when they do, I want to be on top of it, and I'm just constantly looking and checking. I think that's where my anxiety stems from. And what happens is then I wake up in the morning, and if the baby's up, and look, my mother-in-law and my wife are here, and they can kind of watch the baby, even though they want me to help, and I'm tired. I didn't sleep, and I didn't go to sleep till 3 a.m. It's like, all right, they can kind of hold the fort until Steph has to work at 9 o'clock. So I just stay in bed, and I use that as an excuse. But I do get the workouts, and it's not, in the past it used to be like, all right, I got things I need to do. I have work to do during the day. So therefore, if I want to, I got to get up early in the morning to get the workout done. Now it's like no one's working, no one cares, and you can work out whenever you can. And so you just kind of, when you wake up in the morning, it's easier to stay asleep or stay in bed, especially if it's like, the routine is gone. There's nothing there to get up for other than to live life and to be there to do your responsibilities through the day, to keep your family safe, to keep them, to keep them prepared and move on. Right. So yeah, that's where the stress and anxiety it was coming from. So today I looked down and I said to myself, the problem with your silly little anxiety and your inability to sleep is that I can't control it. I can't solve the problem. I can't make it better. There's nothing I can do. I am not a scientist. I'm not sitting here in this basement studio trying to come up with a vaccine. I am not a politician. I can't flip the switch on and say, hey guys, let's all go back to work. I can't do any of that stuff. I am at the whim of everybody else who's involved. I have absolutely nothing to do with it. I just want it to be over with. And so that's where I am. That's the problem. The problem is I can't control it. I can't solve it. And the answer to that is, so why are you, the answer, the obvious observation is, why are you so worried about it if you can't control it? You got to just roll with the punches. There's no alternative. The alternative is to sit here and worry about it, sit there on my phone all day, reading the news, trying to get the next thing, and there's nothing I can do to change that. What can I do? Well, geez, I got a lot of time on my hands. I mean, granted, some things have taken time away from me, but the problem is that I just was. Here's this new responsibilities that you have to start taking care of, and new things you got to spend time doing that you weren't doing a week ago, and now I've just been overloaded with all that stuff. Prioritizing the things that need to be prioritized, and then kind of forgetting the things that I don't really need, that aren't really super priorities, and then just getting through the day, waiting till the next day. So what can I control? Well, I can control how I attack things. I can control my approach. I can control the things I control me, my attitude towards things, the things that I do with my time. And the first thing I thought of this actually last night, was that every day Ellie goes down for a nap around noon. Sometimes she sleeps an hour, sometimes she sleeps 2. But typically when she gets up, I give her a little snack, toss her in the stroller, and then we take her for a walk. And it's about an hour walk, between 2 and 3 miles, something like that. Depends on the day and what route I want to take. Some days Steph comes with me. Some days Sam comes with me. Some days my mother-in-law comes with me. Some days I'm just by myself. And I'm walking up the hill today, and I'm walking there by myself. And it's just me and Ellie. I'm pushing the stroller up a pretty big hill. And I'm like, I do this every day. I've been doing this almost pretty much every day. And the only reason I don't do it is if it rains, or if it's freezing cold and I don't want the baby out there. And really, the freezing cold, I'm kind of hoping the really freezing cold is behind us. Today was 55. Yesterday was 65. I mean, that's walking weather. That's get outside weather. And look, I'm not breaking any laws either. I want everyone to know that. I'm not breaking any laws. And I definitely encourage you guys to follow the guidelines within your neighborhood. I saw a story yesterday of a guy paddleboarding in the ocean by himself. Someone called the cops and they had him arrested. If you live in a place like that, number one, I'd highly recommend you move. But number two, don't risk being arrested. Find another way. Get a treadmill. Find a friend's treadmill. Maybe a friend has got a big. I've seen pictures and video of people doing marathons on their balconies and in their backyards. Find something creative. If you can't, do some yoga, whatever. My thing is, all right, here I am walking this kid for an hour a day. I got a running stroller. Why don't I pop her into the running stroller and go for a run? Go for a run. It just seemed like such a dumb, such an easy change to make on the routine to make it. And I do it every day. So if I'm doing it every day, why not make it even more productive? And Ellie loves being outside. And all I got to do is instead, I know, you go exactly the path I need to take to go. And just instead of making it a 2 or 3 mile walk, make it a 5 or 6 mile run. And every day, bing, change, productivity right there. Making things better. And then I thought about this today too. And this is the reason why I got the podcast out today. Today is April 8th. Now, a lot of you guys out there, a lot of us runners, we run because we enjoy doing it, but we need to shoot for something. We need to have a goal. And a lot of those goals are based within our race community, the races that are out there. And whether it be, hey, I want to run a half marathon. Or I ran a half marathon. I want to run a full marathon next, and that's my goal. I want to get to that next level. I want to run an Ironman. I want to do whatever. Whatever that is, that might be it. It might be, hey, I ran a few marathons. I've done 10 marathons. I want a PR. I want to do the best I've ever done. let me train. And you guys have been trained at that. That's your goal, is to focus on that race and to do something better. Either do something you've never done before, or do something that you've done but do it better, right? To improve. A lot of that, and that's sometimes that motivation. That's what inspires us to be better athletes and to train hard. And now a lot of those races are being taken from us. They're just being canceled left and right because of this thing. And now what happens? I mean, the goal might have been the race, but the underlying issue is the fitness and the well-being and the mental well-being that you gain from training and from doing well, and that nice frame of mind that you get, and that discipline and all that good stuff that comes along with training for these sports and these events. And now they're all being taken from us. So what I know, and what I've been saying it all along, is that virtual races like the ordinary marathon, look, you don't have to be out in a group. You don't have to be out there. You're not running a 5K, a 10K with 100, 200, 2,000, whatever it might be, other people. You don't have to worry about it being canceled. The ordinary marathon is a 10-day event. It starts May 8th, 30 days from today. Personally, I always encourage people to set goals for that period of time. You don't have to run a full marathon. Some people take that as a challenge. Look, I'm not in shape enough to do a full marathon, but if you give me 10 days, maybe I can do 26.2 miles. And they take that as a challenge. I think that's wonderful and great. Some people do it that way. Some people say, hey, it's just, I just want to use it as a social experience and get together with others on social media. And I think that's wonderful too. And we do such a great job doing that. #ordinarymarathon. You guys post those pictures. We take those pictures and we put them into a video. You can check them all out on ordinarymarathon.com. And if you're interested in joining us for the race, May 8th through May 17th, it is a 10-day event. It is for charity. We donate money to the SAM Fund. Last year, we donated nearly $1,000 to the SAM Fund. And I think with some of the donations outside of what we did, we were over $1,000, which felt really good. Because we're only charging $30 for the race, and hint, hint, wink, wink. If you use the coupon code ORDINARY, you'll get $5 off of that. If you want a race shirt, you do have to pay extra, and you're going to want to do that sooner than later, because I think we have to place our order by the end of the week, or maybe early next week. We have to place our order for the shirts for the race, which we will be doing. Also, you're going to get a bib, and the bib is going to be personalized, and we have to print those bibs out sooner than later. So you guys are very creative with your names on the personalized bibs, and if you want that bib, you're going to have to just register by the end of the week. I got to be honest, I've been falling a little flat on the advertising, the promo for the race. I have. And just for the same reason as everything else. This has been crazy. And we thought this year was going to be a really big year. And look, you guys who've registered, we do have a lot of people registered. I think we've probably about 35, 40 people that have registered. We thank all of you guys for that. But we usually do a bit bigger number than that. And look, the way I see it, everyone's events are getting canceled left and right. Come join us. This will be a good thing. This will be a good way, productive use of your time, and a good way to kind of just commiserate with everybody else about all the real races, all the in-person races that are getting canceled. And this, finally, maybe this is time that virtual racing actually takes a step forward. And what better race to do it than the Ordinary Marathon? It's not that expensive. It's a long-term event. It's 10 days. It's a very social event. A lot of people get involved, and there's no reason for you not to get involved as well. Head on over to ordinarymarathon.com and join us. Now, again, today is April 8th. Our race starts May 8th. We got 30 days. And I thought about that, and I said to myself, I've developed some bad habits. I'm eating too much, maybe drinking a little bit too much. Not to the point where I got to go to meetings or anything, but to the point where the calories are annoying and it's starting to affect my ability to perform at my best. Now, some of you guys out there have been laid off, and I feel my heart goes out to you. Some of you guys have jobs on hold. Your hours have been cut. And look, it's hard. And some of us probably have savings saved up, and you can kind of survive for a little while. Maybe some of you guys out there don't have kids, and that's, now you're sitting there with all this time on your hand, and you don't know what to do with yourself. And I say to you, it sucks. Number one, it sucks. It's horrible. Number two, why, the old, what do you do when life throws you lemons kind of thing? You make lemonade. And look, if your job is on hold, if you got less hours, if you got laid off, and there's just nothing out there, and there's nothing there for you to be like, oh, let me find a job. Where are you gonna find a job? Everyone laid everyone off. There's no jobs. Trust me, I know. What is there? There's the next 30 days. There's the opportunity to just take control of your life and be you for a change. Do what you want. Do work for you. Do something for you. Be a better person. Work hard. Train hard. Eat right. It's so easy to say, all right, let's shut it down. I'll watch Tiger King eat Cheetos. It's so easy to shut it down. And in certain areas, I've shut it down. The diet is one of them. Early morning wake-ups is another one. The podcast, in a certain degree, hasn't been coming out as normal on a normal schedule it has been in the past. But when are you going to have this time? When are you going to have this opportunity again to focus on you and to get things done for you? And maybe you've never exercised before. Maybe you listen to the podcast, you say to yourself, I listen to this guy, but I don't feel like getting up yet. Maybe I will soon, though. Maybe one day I'll get up. Maybe one day I'll get out and get moving. Well, when are you going to have a better opportunity than this? I don't know. You got 30 days. I'm going to turn things around in 30 days. I'm going to change these stupid habits about eating the ice cream and drinking the wine at night and watching too much TV. I'm going to run in the afternoon with my daughter instead of pushing her in the stroller on a walk. I'm going to try to make my time useful. I hope you guys can see that. And I hope you guys can make some changes too. I wish you guys the best of luck. Stay safe, stay healthy, and remember, every day is an ordinary day unless you make it extraordinary. So get after it.